Dukwa Correctional Center in Gwagwalada, highlighting the new character of the Nigerian Correctional Service.
In August 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the Nigerian Correctional Service Act. The law seeks to tilt criminal justice system towards the rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders. About 35 kilometers from the city center lies the Dukwa Correctional Farm Center. With about 22 hectares of land, the 75 offenders who currently call it home represent only a small fraction of what the center can accommodate. This poultry of 800 birds produces about 18 crates of eggs daily, with inmates handling all the production processes.
By the grace of God, when I come out from here, I will go back to train power. I don't go back to commit crime. This business now, na better work. I call Lena and Kuma, I hold am. Inshallah, I don't go play with this work again.
The bakery and confectionery section at full capacity can produce over 14,000 loaves of bread in one day.
As we are learning, I'm also interested, all of us is interested in the work. I can use the work and train my marriage, train my family, even live my life long with the work.
Yet, Public Relations Officer Francis Enobore expresses optimism that this can be replicated in all parts of the country if only the service can be rid of the overwhelming burden of those awaiting trial, who make up 83% of inmates in urban centers across the country.
These vocational centers are all running. But how many inmates are available to be trained? Okay, look at this place, this facility, for instance. It can handle over 20 inmates to be trained in this section. How many do you have there? 6. Because this is a farm center, we don't bring in those that are awaiting trial, except for those that have been convicted. How many people are convicted for us to be for us to train?
Now, with all of these in place, the inmates can gradually move beyond the wrongdoings of their past and the confinement of their present to laying the groundwork for a more progressive future. From Dukwa, outskirts of Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
That's sure good news. And the United Nations World Food and Agricultural Organization, in its bid to widen the conversation on how to achieve zero hunger in the Northeast, has presented a play titled Bintu the Musical. A stage play aimed at appreciating the efforts of the federal government towards addressing the humanitarian crisis in the terrorist-ravaged areas.
Since the upsurge of the Boko Haram activities in the northeast, there has been a huge task on the federal government of Nigeria to address the humanitarian crisis with efforts to rebuild the areas devastated by insurgency. The United Nations is one partner who has assisted in such effort to address such humanitarian crisis.
We wanted to make sure that people that aren't going through the crisis in the Northeast had some insight into the challenges that people were facing there, but also their stories of resilience. And so we wanted to share that for conversations about how we address the problems in the Northeast, but in Nigeria as a whole.
With their stories put in drama form, the United Nations is exploring ways to achieve zero hunger by garnering support from other partners.
It's a theatre as a veritable tool to stimulate positive impact in the society.
Trying to eliminate hunger by reaching out to poor nations, poor people, poor settlements. I think they are doing a lot.
The World Food Program has done amazing work all over the world, especially in periods of crisis. So there's such a need right now in our country, and we need to ensure that we have more organizations partnering.
The stage play is produced and directed by a Nigerian, Agoze Ugwu. Bintu the Musical also praised the resilience of the federal government to forestall peace.
The plight of persons living with albinism is one that is not new to the society. But what people who are not suffering from this lack of melanin pigmentation disorder don't know is how some of their dreams are cut short. Part of the concerns for the Albino Foundation is getting treatment for albinos with cancer through government's intervention. Ruth Aguela tells us more.
They say when life throws lemons at you, you make lemonades out of it. Well, this adage doesn't go well with Josephine because her lemon is one she says is extra acidic. She never bargained for it, being a cancer patient. A situation she didn't understand until late August when she had her third baby.
Each time I'm pregnant, I do have this wound on my face. So when I was pregnant of this baby, the thing came again. So I just thought it was just a pregnancy sign. The thing was now getting big. It's very painful. I've lost a lot of blood.
Rejection was another bitter taste Josephine was made to swallow when she lost her job as a private teacher. Continuous chemotherapy and subsequent surgery for Josephine and other cancer patients here is the plea of the Albino Foundation so that their less than palatable fare so far can have a more savory ending.
We're trying to engage the government to please direct National Hospital to resume this treatment and to stop tasking these indigent patients. So I'm using this opportunity to appeal to the CMD to resume the treatment. I don't want any of them these ones to die.
This cancer is not the thing where person will carry on for body, they do guy.
You need to take an injection. For instance, 300 mils for one particular treatment. 1 meal is 90,000 naira.
As the clock ticks for Josephine and other cancer patients, a glimmer of hope on the horizon can be as therapeutic as the treatment they crave. In Abuja, Ruth Aguala, NTA News.
And so far so good. We will return with the home run with news from the sports and weather.
This Saturday,
the country we have, irrespective of religion, tribe, the heroes of our past did their best to take Nigeria to where it is today. It will be unfortunate, I repeat, unfortunate, absolutely, if we don't keep Nigeria intact. We must put our differences behind. We must let everybody know that human beings cannot live together without some differences. But at the end of the day, our country is Nigerian. It must always come first.
Get ready for the Unity Challenge reality TV show. Coming soon.
Good to have you back. And now to sports update as Ayodiji Makinde has that.
The federal government has been commended for its decision to the welfare of sportsmen and women in the country after Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare intervened in raising $15,000 in addition to $10,000 by Delta State government for the surgery of injured D-Tigres player Nkem Akarawe. The 23-year-old forward, having represented Nigeria at the 2018 FIBA World Cup finals in Spain, tore her anterior cruciate ligament while on national duty earlier in the year during the beach games in Cape Verde and is now set for surgery in Dubai. The outgoing year has been described as a turning point in the development of junior golfing in Nigeria with the gradual transition of more players through amateur ranks to professional cadre. Grand Patron Parkland Golf Resort Club Abuja, Muftar Bello, disclosed this while further stating that the Nigerian Television Authority has been instrumental through its national and international platforms.
We can begin to see more corporates and, big adults as well as families, because family golfing is a very important part for development of golfing, particularly in Nigeria.
Action continues in the English Premier League on Boxing Day Thursday with tabletop